Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In my previous video, I have covered what is AWS Cognito, how to set up Cognito, and how to integrate AWS Cognito with Angular. And I covered how we can create sign up and sign in pages with AWS Cognito. So if you haven't watched that video, then please watch that video to get complete understanding, and you can find the link in description. So in this video, we will continue to work on our previous application and we will implement role-based authorization using AWS Cognito. So for that, first we will save user role in Cognito as custom attribute, and then we will create an auth guard to protect routes from unauthenticated users, and then we will create a custom structural directive to manage DOM elements based on roles. So if you are new to this channel, then don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss out on my videos. So this is our Angular application in which we are going to implement role-based authorization. And if you watched my previous video, then you know how we created this. So first we will add role dropdown in this signup page. And before doing the code changes, we need to add a custom attribute in Cognito user pool. So we'll go to our user pool, and here in signup experience, we can see there is a section custom attributes. So from here we can add custom attributes. So as of now I created this one role attribute. In user pool we cannot delete an attribute after creation. So I can show you how we can create new one. So when we click on this add custom attribute button, then there's a form in which we can enter our attribute name and type of that attribute and some min max lengths. And when we click on this save changes, then that attribute will be added to our user pool. So for our use, I already created this custom role, means this role attribute, and it will be named as custom colon role. And after creating this custom attribute, we need to do one more thing in app integrations. And in this client, we have this permission section. So we need to allow read and write permissions to our custom attributes from here. Otherwise, we will not be able to use that attribute. So I already allowed this read and write permissions to this attribute. So now we will go to our application. So first we will add dropdown. We will copy it and all. For this we will create a select. Option. Suppose we have two roles. One is student and second one is teacher. And this role is showing error because this role is not exist in our interface. So we will create that. Now this error gone. So when we click on this sign up button, we have this method that will be called this sign up method, and here we need to pass our role custom attributes, and here we need to pass it like an object, and its name will be custom colon role, and here we will pass that role. Let's see in browser. So role dropdown is coming here, and now we will create one user, test student at mailinator, and password and we will choose the role here, student. So it sent the confirmation code, and we have this mail letter here, test student. So Cognito sent an mail. We'll copy this code. Yeah, user confirmed, and now we will sign in from here. Yep, sign in works. And let's check this user here as well. So in custom attributes, you can see a role here, student. Let's sign out this. And as you can see here, this profile page is opening even if no user logged in, and this should not happen. So we will create an auth guard to protect this profile page from unauthenticated users. So we will create our auth guard, nggs auth guard. Yeah, auth guard created, and here we will implement canactivate interface, and this is having a method canactivate. Before moving forward, we need to create a method in Cognito service to get the current user's role. So we'll create a method get role promise, and we'll return this dot get user. This get user method is already created earlier, and user, and we will return from here if user and user dot attributes. Then we will get our user attribute value, attributes custom colon role, otherwise we will pass it blank. So now we will use that method here. So first we need to inject that private Cognito service, and here we will return this dot Cognito service dot get role, then role, and we'll return if role is available, then we will pass it true, otherwise we will pass it false. And you can place the conditions according to your use, but as of now we are keeping it simple. Now we will add this auth guard in our routes. Like suppose you want to protect this profile page from unauthorized users, so we will do it like here canactivate, and in this we will pass our auth guard. So when no user logged in, then this profile page will not be open, otherwise it will be open. Let's see in browser. So this is our sign up page, and the profile page is not opening. You can see here I am clicking it, and other pages are opening. Now this profile page is protected, but the link is still visible even if no user logged in. So we will show hide these menus based on user authentication. So here you can see we need to manage this show hide menus in app component. So first we will check user authentication while on in it, but user state can be changed after on in it by sign in and sign out feature. So we need to send some events to app component to provide user authentication status. So let's do that. So in app component, I already created this property is authenticated, and first on in it we'll check if any user is logged in or not. So we will get it here like this dot cognito service dot get role. So if role is exist means there is a user that is logged in. So we can mark it true and otherwise false. So this will handle while on in it, but we also need to manage it while sign in and sign out. So for that we'll create an event public auth notifier not event emitter type of any equal to new, and we will create one method to update this notify auth status, and here we will be passing status that will be boolean, and then this dot auth notify dot next means whoever is subscribing this auth notifier, they will be notified. So we will call this method from two events. First from sign in, means from sign in we will pass it true Cognito service, and second from sign out, and from here it will be false. Now we need to subscribe this auth notifier in app component to refresh this auth is authenticated flag. So here we will subscribe it cognito service dot auth notifier dot subscribe, and here we will use status this dot is authenticated equal to status. So this is authenticated property will always be updated. So we will use this property to show hide our menus. So you can see sign up we need if there is no user logged in. Then we will add ngif and sign in as well, not authenticated, and profile will be only if authenticated. Sign out is also for authenticated. Now let's see in browser. Let me refresh this page. So as of now no user logged in, so these both buttons are visible. So let's log in. Test student at mailinator.com. Yeah, users logged in, and are both the buttons hidden, and these menus are working as expected. Sign in and sign up menus are hidden, and profile and sign out button is visible, and this was expected. Let's do one more thing. We will show the role here in profile page. This dot user dot role, user dot attributes, and we will use this role here after update. Let's see. User dot role. Yeah, role is visible. So for this user, the role was student. Now suppose we have some content that should be visible based on user role. And for handling this use case, we will create a custom structural directive that will manage the DOM elements. If provided role is assigned to logged in user, then content will be rendered. Otherwise, it will be cleared from the DOM. So let's create a directive. Ngd is authorized. Yeah, directive created. And here we will inject template ref and view container ref services. So template ref and view container, and we will rename it like is authorized, and we will tag an input set is authorized, and in this input we will get some parameters for role, and that type will be an array, and here we will get our role. So for that we need to inject our Cognito service private this dot Cognito service dot get role. So if this roles dot index of role greater than -1, it means a logged in user is authorized and that content is allowed for that user. So here we will render that content. This view container dot embed this dot template ref, and if not, then we will clear this content. View container dot clear. That's it. Our directive is ready, and now we will use it in our app component. No, in profile component. So suppose we have two divs here. Suppose three divs we have. Content for students, content for teachers, and one more content for student or teachers. So before using the directive, these all divs will be visible here. But now we will use a directive is authorized, and here we will pass the role, means for which role this div will be visible. So this content is for student, so we will pass student, and this will be for teacher, and this will be for both means we have this div for multiple roles. So let's see in browser. So you can see here that our role was student and both the contents are visible. One is for student and one is for both. So now let's take one more example for teacher role. So we will create a new user, and before that we need to sign out from here, and we will go to sign up and test teacher at mailinator.com password, and here we will choose the teacher role, code from mailinator, teacher. We'll copy this code, confirm, and let's sign in. Test teacher at mailinator.com password. Yeah, so the role is teacher, and this content was for teachers, and this content was for both. So this is how we can implement role-based authorization in Angular using AWS Cognito. And I know there is some scope of optimization in Cognito service to store role locally instead calling Cognito each time. But for easiness of the implementation, I kept it simple, but you can optimize it according to your use. So I hope this video was helpful in understanding AWS Cognito uses in Angular for authorization. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. And thank you for watching this video. And I will cover some more interesting topics in my upcoming videos. So please subscribe the channel.